Alright, in this video we've got a lot of cool stuff to go over, so it's probably going to be a longer video. Make sure you stick around to the end though, because I've got some really cool stuff to show you. Starting off, we have three of my just most all-time favorite muscle cars in the world. So we've got a 77 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, an 84 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, and probably my most favorite, a 96 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am Ws6. That's what makes it my favorite. So we will get right into those. Let's get our first one off or up on the lift. Let's start in 1977 and work our way forward up to the 90s. So we'll get this up on the lift here in just a second. Oop, the camera's freaking out. Hang on. All right, here we go. So, first thing you'll probably notice is we've got the hood open and the... focus. There we go. You'll see that the air scoop is actually a separate piece from the hood. That is a really, really, really cool detail, and I love that this big old, and it says it on the hoods, on the air scoop there, 6.6 liter, I can't do the math off the top of my head. What is 6.6 liters in English? Somebody Google it. So if we close the hood there, it closes around Ram air scoop. Very cool. What a gorgeous car. We've got our Trans Am badge above the headlights. This is a 1977, so this is not the right color, but the right year to be Burt Reynolds' car from Smokey and the Bandit. We got our T-tops up there. Nice detail. Nice detail on the interior. Looks like red, all red interior with a black steering wheel. Nice little added detail in there. Yeah, very, very good looking car. I love Trans Am so much. A little something weird going on there with the back window, but might just be the camera angle. Of course, our license plate says 77 Bird. Firebird. I love it. I'm not exactly sure what these wheels are supposed to look like. I mean, they're cool looking. I like them a lot. They look great on the car, but everybody knows the Trans Am for their snowflake wheels, like what we have up here. This is actually a lot better representation of the Smokey and the Bandit car there on the box. And if we take a closer look at our box, we've got our muscle facts. The 1977 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am was prominently featured in the film Smokey and the Bandit. There you go. Yeah. Over 155,000 units of the Pontiac Firebird were sold in 1977. Yeah, I remember reading somewhere that when the Smokey and the Bandit movie came out, the sales for the Firebird Trans Am went like through the roof. Everybody wanted to be Burt Reynolds. I can understand why, you know. I mean, look at the thing. So yeah, very excited about this. I think, I'm not sure, but I think a 6.6 liter is, because I'm going off, my car is a 6.2 liter, which is a 376, so a 6.6 liter, I think, is a 400 cubic inch, which sounds right for late 70s Pontiac. And this is the embarrassing part. So you've got a 400 cubic inch V8, and I think they only made like 200 horsepower at the crankshaft. So it was the late 70s, so again, emissions were just choking these cars out and really robbing them of all their horsepower. But either way, an absolutely gorgeous car. Love it. Beautiful to look at. Who cares if it's slow? So we will get this into... This is no longer a parking lot. This is now officially, this is a traffic jam we've got going on the desk. Amazon has taken their sweet old time with my wall display case. So whenever that gets here, we will clear up some space on the desk because it is getting a bit cluttered. So this is the back of the card as well. We have looked at this card, this same card. We have several cards from this series. The GT500, the GTX, and I remember talking about the T-Type and the Chevelle wagon. So not going to spend all night on that, but we will get it tucked away for safekeeping. And we'll keep it moving right along into our next casting. So here is our 1984 Trans Am. Again, just an absolutely beautiful car. Every year of the Trans Am I think is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a more attractive Camaro, honestly. We've got our hood open here. We can get a good view of the motor. That, I believe, well, it looks like a carbureted 350. Could be a 305, I believe these also had. Being the early 80s, they were still suffering from the emissions chokehold. So not a lot of horsepower, but they were really light, so they handled impressively for the time, I should say. Still, again, a really cool car. I looked at one of these before I bought my 2011 Camaro. I was really considering, it had like 20,000 miles on it. The thing was in immaculate condition. But the guy wanted almost 30 grand for it, and I was just, it was a little too steep for me. So, passed that one up. But sometimes I question my decision. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous car. We'll come around to the back. We've got our Firebird emblem on the back there. Let's see, what does that license plate say? Can we focus on it? Ablaze, right, because it's a Firebird. I love that they all have their own little nifty license plates. We got our Firebird emblem on the, what is that, I guess the B pillar. No Firebird emblem on the hood on this one. I think that was only certain options. Got the Fire Chicken, as some people like to call it. Get the hood closed on that. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous looking car. My mother had 2 Firebirds, and so naturally I was just raised to love them. She would always tell me stories about hers. Unfortunately, the years that hers were escaped me. I know she had a 70s model, and I think she had an 80s model as well. I should know better, but yeah, again, very good looking car. We've got our card here, so we'll move this over for a second so we can take a look at our classic facts. So it says 1984 was the 15th anniversary of the Trans Am. Adding an optional aerodynamic package to the Trans Am reduced the drag coefficient from 0.32 to 0.29, making it the most aerodynamic car ever produced by General Motors at the time. And of course there's our paint code, Autumn Maple Fire Mist. Ooh. That sounds so enticing. I love that. And then we'll flip this over, take a look at the back real quick. So we've got some different stuff back here. 57 Studebaker Golden Hawk. That's pretty cool. One of my old tech school teachers had a Silver Hawk. The 84 Trans Am, we have that. 96 Trans Am, that's coming up next. Jeep CJ5. That might be kind of cool, depending on if it's got a silly paint job or not. 99 Mazda MX-5 Miata. Miatas are cool, but they're not what I'm interested in. And then we've got a 76 Dodge Aspen RT. And then it tells you a little bit about the White Lightning chase cars right there. Check this package. You might have a White Lightning. We definitely do not. And then again, so we've got, so these are the classic gold 2021 release ones. I believe this car, this Trans Am, is part of release 2. So we've got an H1, looks like a Mustang there. Some other stuff, Chevy Monza Spider, 79 Malibu. I like that Viper. That Viper's really cool. 83 Lagonda. What is a Lagonda? I guess that's a Lagonda. Yeah, who knows? Real quick, I didn't show you the name of the paint code. I didn't show the paint code for the 77 Trans Am. That is Cameo White. So we've got Cameo White and Autumn Maple Fire Mist. Two very pretty sounding colors. So I'll bring this over here once again. Let's get one more good look at this. Of course, not lacking any detail ever, being a Johnny Lightning. They did manage to put round tires on this one, so I have to applaud Johnny Lightning for that one. Sometimes they struggle with circles. It's a complex shape, so we'll get this tucked away next to the other Trans Am, and they're actually it's sitting next to a Challenger Trans Am. What are the chances of that? Alright, so this is going to be our last unboxing for this video, and that will be the 96 Firebird Trans Am WS6. WS6 being I believe a suspension package, right? But I know the WS6 always got the big, mean-looking cowl hood. So we'll get our lift pulled over and get it out of the box so we can get a better look at it. Look at that. I have been dying to get this thing out of the package since I bought it, I'll be honest with you. This is one of my all-time favorite cars, just overall in general. This is an LT1 car. I'm a bit more into the LS1 version, so this is a 96. I believe the first year for the LS1s was 97. They changed the look of them a little bit. They added another pair of vents in the front end, and the taillights changed up a little bit. They had more of a honeycomb mesh look in the taillights. And that is probably my favorite year Trans Am. And every time I see one of these, the 4th generation Trans Ams, I kick myself because I'm like, did I make the right decision buying a 2011 Camaro like this? Would I have rather been happier with something like this? I ask myself that pretty often, because this is just one of the most beautiful cars in the world, in my opinion. Absolutely love it, and I'm so excited to finally have a casting of it in the collection. So this being an LT1 car, so these vents on the hood here, these were actually functional ram air vents, and I'm not sure at what speed, but at speed, they actually made quite a difference. Put it up over 300 horsepower when you had proper air flowing through the vents. So that's pretty interesting. Looks like we've got red interior in there. Obviously a 6-speed manual T56. That is the predecessor to the Trans of my car, which is the TR6060. LT1 under the hood. I'm not sure if this has an opening hood on this casting, but it seems either painted shut or it's just not an opening hood, so I'm not going to push my luck with it. The wheels look just right. Those look like Firebird Trans Am wheels. All of our details. Nice little WS6 badge right under the taillight, right where it should be. Oh, looks so good. Strike for the license plate. That's not really fire or bird related, but still cool, I guess. No bird on the hood, unfortunately, with this one. That's pretty uncommon with the later generations. Most of them just had the bird down here. But yeah, very, very, very good looking car. Thrilled to have this in the collection. I have wanted one of these for a while. I have a couple more of these on my wish list, a couple different years. Johnny Lightning makes, I believe, a 97, a 98, and an 01 casting of the Trans Am. So, and I won all of them, so. We'll take a look at our card here. We've got our classic facts for this one. The WS6 was available in the 78 to 91 model years, but was discontinued on the 4th gen Firebird until its return in 1996. So this is actually the first year back for the WS6. I just said that. The functional ram air system boosted the 5.7 liter LT1 from 285 horsepower to 305. So there you go. That's what, 20 horsepower? That's pretty good for just a hood scoop. That's pretty impressive. And then our paint code, I always forget about that. Bright white. Not as creative of a name as last two, but descriptive nonetheless. It certainly is bright white. Can't argue with that. But yeah, I am so excited to finally have one of these. Look at that big wing on the back. Nasty looking car. Absolutely nasty looking. It's so 90s. It just screams 1990s styling, and I love it. I was styled in the 1990s, so that's probably why. Coming around to the other side, we've got our Firebird badge on the, or I'm sorry, that says Trans Am. Duh. So yeah, very cool car. Very, very, very cool car. We're going to put that with his buddies over here, the rest of the Trans Am gang. And what I'm going to show you now is 3 cars that I rescued again from my parents' house. I was over there, I think last weekend. And just going through my bedroom and found a couple more cars that I figured I'd put on the channel. So these are, I'll start with this one. We've got Kasey Kahne's 2008 Car of Tomorrow. These used to be called the Car of Tomorrow. So this is when NASCAR first went to the spoilers and they had the front end spoiler. This is a 2008 Dodge Charger NASCAR. And interestingly enough, too, this was the first year that Kasey Kahne was in the Budweiser car, but they can't market beer to children. So if you got the toy car, it was the Kasey Kahne car. But yeah, so this was the year that Dale Earnhardt Jr. switched to his Amp Energy sponsorship, which we have an example of right here. And again, this is one of the Car of Tomorrow styled cars. I specifically remember getting this car right before the 2008 Daytona 500 because I was kind of upset but kind of excited to see Dale in a different car. He had just left Dale Earnhardt Incorporated and gone to Hendrick Motorsports. Him and Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and I forget, there was one other guy on the team and I can't think of who it is. But yeah, so this was his Amp Energy car for 2008. And then I also have his National Guard car from 2008. So these both of these are Chevy Impala SS's, Chevy Impala SS NASCAR, if you will. And I although they are plastic tire cars, I like them enough to put them into, mixing them with the rest of my stuff. They look really good. There's a lot of detail in them, and I took the time to take some paint pens and painted in where the axles would show through, the little silver spot there, so they look a little better. I also took the time to just touch up any chip paint on like the spoiler back here, and some of the white paint had been chipped up on the front lip, but just from wrecks and accidents from my childhood. So now that they're cleaned up and shined up, I have no problem putting these up on the wall with the rest of my stuff. I'll deal with the plastic tires. I think I have. Oop. Camera's blacking out again. I promise I've got a new camera coming soon. But yeah, so I just wanted to show those cars off real quick. I found those at my parents' house from my yesteryears. So that'll about do it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.